Manchester United over the last 10 years have been a collection of muddled up thought processes, of different managers, of different types of signings, of just no connected, joined up thinking. And I make no exaggeration by saying that if Manchester United were to bring Paul Mitchell in, it would be the most important signing that this football club has made in the last 10 years. And I want to explain exactly why in this video. And it's not just about the players that he's identified at multiple different clubs and the successes that he's had there, but it's about his mind and his thought process. Look, let me explain in this video. This is genuinely cause for real excitement because Paul Mitchell is one of the best in the game. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. But the Telegraph are reporting that Paul Mitchell is in line to become Manchester United's new sporting director. They're also having conversations, Manchester United are and Dave Brailsford are, around Dan Ashworth at Newcastle, but he's obviously just moved there from Brighton. But Paul Mitchell is somebody, you know, anybody who's followed the channel for a long time, this is a man I've been speaking about for some time now. And if you look, when it comes to the new structure of Manchester United, if Jim Ratcliffe is indeed successful with his 25% takeover, I've got so many questions, all right, around the concept of this football committee, I suppose, with Joel Glazer, Dave Brailsford and Jim Ratcliffe sitting on it. But none of them would be the footballing mind that our club needs to modernise. And that is exactly where Paul Mitchell is one of the best. Arguably, he is the best for Manchester United right now. Now, if you want to focus purely on signings, well, Paul Mitchell ticks the box from his successes that he had at Southampton in identifying the likes of Sadio Mane or Toby Alderweireld or Dusan Tadic, or when he went to Tottenham and he signed the likes of Heung-min Son or Kieran Trippier, or when he went to, of course, Red Bull and worked with Ralph Rangnick, the likes of Christopher Nkunku or Amadou Haidara, or the work he did at Monaco, where he was more of a sporting director rather than a sort of head of recruitment, which he kind of was at separate clubs and previous clubs. Paul Mitchell knows what it takes to modernise a football club. Paul Mitchell, over multiple clubs, different leagues, different years, has proven that he has an eye for a player. He has a contacts list, which clearly is very envious, and he's very successful. And the idea of bringing in Paul Mitchell to work with Erik ten Hag is dreamy for me. Now, I know that there are so many people that had, look, Ralph Rangnick, the reason I was always excited about Ralph Rangnick coming into Manchester United is the exact same reason why I'm really excited about the concept of Paul Mitchell coming in. Now, Rangnick was brought in as a manager, having not managed a football club in 2 years? A long time. It was his mind. That was why I was excited, because he is a man who has modernised football clubs. He is a man who helps establish RB Leipzig in Germany to the team that they are now, from a second-tier team. His mind was a big reason behind that. But at Manchester United, well, managerially, he was an absolute failure. And no one listened to what he had to say. And the reason that I'm so focused on a man like Paul Mitchell coming into this club is because, look, when it comes to the failures that our football club has had over the last 10 years, money hasn't been the problem. Spending on players. Or actually, no, spending on players has been the problem, and it's the players that we've been spending on, and the person who has been in charge of spending that money. Had Manchester United had Paul Mitchell for the last 10 years, I guarantee you our football club would not be in the position where it is. Because truth be told, we have just wasted so much money. You look down this list here, right, and we go, what? Paul Pogba, did that work out? No, it didn't. I would say that's more... Well, anyway, it didn't work out. Paul Pogba, 90 mil. Maguire, is that worked out for 8? No, it's not. Lukaku, is that? No, that didn't work out. Sancho? No, it's definitely not. Di Maria? No, it's definitely... So that's the 5 most expensive signings in Manchester United's history, all made in the last 9 years, and none of them have had the sort of impact at this club. And you can go down that list, and I'm sure there are others you can speak about too. It is a catastrophic waste of money that Manchester United have done. And the reason that this has happened is... You might find it boring talking about this stuff. All you want to talk about is, when are we going to sign Mbappe? When are we going to sign this player, that player? Cool. But it's pointless. Because until you have connected, joined up thinking behind the scenes, your football club cannot be a success in the modern era. Manchester United are the definition of that, all right? From all the different types of managers that we've gone through there, from David Moyes to Louis van Gaal to Jose Mourinho to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to Ralf Rangnick, and now to Erik ten Hag. We have drifted between styles and given so much power to the manager because the Glazers never relinquished power for a sporting director. And that is where I hope it all changes with Paul Mitchell, because Man United have got to go from spending so much money on major signings like this to maybe focusing on other types of signings. Now, look, when it comes to Haaland, the money in the game has significantly gone through the roof in the last couple of years, and how much is being spent on players. So that's partly the reason why he's so expensive compared to the likes of those players on here. But spotting and profiling a player, identifying an exact player who you should be signing, that is where Paul Mitchell can come in. He really is, look, it's written there, this is from The Athletic last year, he is an innovator. He's someone who's had success at multiple different clubs and helped modernise them, and that's what Manchester United need. And we don't even have to guess kind of what Paul Mitchell thinks, because he did this interview with Sky Sports back in 2022, and have a listen to what his vision was for Manchester United. We are a long time from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Erik ten Hag is a top coach from Ajax, but they need a top blueprint not only for now, but the next 5 years, and work towards that. And sometimes on that journey, there are hard moments when you don't get the right results, even though you're doing the right things. You have to know that over that period, the consistency of the decision-making will yield a good end result. I think we've seen that with both Manchester City and Liverpool, that when you adopt that long-term strategy, you can get real consistency and sustainable success. I think that's the biggest thing for Manchester United. Putting down their identity of what they want to be today, but most crucially, what they want to be in 5 years' time, and where they want to be, and what they want to look like, from everything from young players to the style of play, to the whole culture piece in Manchester United. Paul Mitchell explaining there just everything that we need. We need a 5-year vision. We need a 5-year plan. And it's just not been possible with the work structure that we've got at this football club. Look, once upon a time, there was a man called Sir Alex Ferguson who was the king, the emperor, the don, the godfather of Manchester United. Absolutely everything went through him, and it was his decision. And football at that time allowed that to exist. The growth of player power, the growth of player influence, individual influence outside of the club now, modern football clubs are not what they were when Fergie was the king. And Erik ten Hag needs to have the environment around him where he can just focus on the football. He needs someone like Paul Mitchell, a trusted, proven expert at not only recruitment, but modernising football clubs, using and creating and following an overall vision for a club. And with a man like Paul Mitchell working for Erik ten Hag, behind the scenes, doing all the stuff that ten Hag has had to get involved in, it would be a transformative signing. And look, there's going to be people that laugh at me because I said that about Onana. I stand by what I said about Onana. Once we actually start playing the style of football properly, then yeah, maybe we're nowhere near that with injuries. But Paul Mitchell, that is a signing. Would you call it a signing? An appointment that I would be so excited for. Of course, I still have my reservations as to how much power he's truly going to get, and that's always going to be the concern. But if he comes in and he gets given a true sporting director role, that could change the game for United. That would be the beginning of a modern Manchester United. And until we've got that structure in place, we never can be.